So our topic for this module is literariness. What, if any, special standing should literary works enjoy under the First Amendment? What is literature anyways? What purpose does literature serve in a democracy? Is it a means of individual artistic expression? Does literature foster identification? Does literature foster a greater sense of human compassion or sympathy? Is literature a commodity in the marketplace of ideas? Is it a bearer of tradition? Does it tell us who we are as a people? Does it tell us a story about our own culture? And how is that culture constantly being negotiated and refined and updated by new voices and new experiences? What are the special functions of the literary under the First Amendment? And what is the special power of the literary to make things happen? We might want to think a little bit about satire and parody under this sign. So the literary as a tool for social and political critique is among the most traditional uses of and threats of literary representation, and that's been true at least since ancient Greece. We'll look at an important case, SunTrust versus Houghton Mifflin, which describes to us the First Amendment value of literary parody. Parody, as a uniquely literary form, advances cultural critique, provides a new and powerful way of commenting on earlier literary works without violating copyright. And we'll be diving into the struggles to identify what qualifies as a parody and what qualifies as piracy. In this module, we're going to look at a handful of case studies. We'll dip briefly into Nabokov's masterpiece, Lolita, which is a novel focused on an obscene subject with a highly conventional plot, but which has no obscenity in it. And that Nabokov is really probing or pushing or challenging mainstream understandings of the distinction between form and content in Lolita. We're also going to be reading a little bit about the obscenity trials of James Joyce's masterpiece, Ulysses, and understanding how the legal decisions about that novel tell us something about obscenity and about the understanding of literature's place within the broader understanding of individual liberties and freedom of speech. Finally, we will think hard about literary property. Can we own characters? Can we own plots? Can we own themes or styles? And if I own a style and someone uses that same style, are they violating my copyright? A case in point that we'll look at is the controversy between J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye and a continuation written by a guy named Frederick Colting called Coming Through the Rye 60 Years Later. Under this heading, we will also think about questions such as fan fiction. If I use someone else's characters but create my own plots, am I unlawfully taking their intellectual property, or am I honoring it? Some of the questions we'll want to think about. What qualifies as literature? Literature enjoys specific legal protections, but what is it? How do we know it when we see it? What separates literature from obscenity? Who owns a literary work? Can we own ideas, characters, plots, styles, or stories? What is the value of satire and parody as a means of artistic expression, cultural commentary, and political critique?